On Greek Row.
First Whitman County, now Latah County. COVID-19 on the surge.
From the Northwest Public Broadcasting Studios on the campus of Washington State University, this is Murrow News 8.
Good evening, I'm Cameron Limes.
And I'm Andrew Bartline. Welcome to Murrow News 8.
University of Idaho will be moving to a fully online semester after Thanksgiving, according to Pullman Radio News. The university will also have all students test again starting today until the end of the week. From previous testing, the university has seen a dramatic spike of cases, mostly in Greek life.
Latah County reported 22 new positive COVID tests Friday. All but 2 are between the ages of 18 to 29. One was in their 30s, the other in their 50s. There have been 533 confirmed cases in Latah County since the pandemic began. No deaths have been reported. Whitman County Health has reported 2 hospitalizations, though a decline in the frequency of positive cases overall.
Traffic will be flagged this week on Terraview Drive on the east edge of Washington State campus. Avisa Utilities is installing new power lines at the intersection of Terraview and Grimes Way, just north of the Moscow-Pullman Highway. The work and flagging will run all week from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m.
A report released earlier today says 26-year-old Ashley Baird has missed a court hearing in Whitman County Superior Court Friday. This is her second absence since July. Baird is accused of burglarizing a restaurant in Rosalia, the Red Brick Cafe. A warrant with $25,000 bond has been issued for her arrest. It's valid in Washington, Idaho, Oregon, Montana, and Wyoming. And Pullman City officials are removing the back-angled parking experiment downtown. Murrow News 8 reporter Kylie Gibson is live downtown. Kylie, what exactly are we seeing with this parking situation?
Thanks, Andrew. As you can see behind me, the city of Pullman experimented with this back-end parking for nearly 3 months, planning the change since 2019. This is all part of the Downtown Master Plan, a $122,000 project intended to make downtown Pullman more.
But it was one of those items.
After receiving mostly negative feedback, city officials have decided to scrap the experiment. We've been told pedestrian activity downtown is up significantly, though this piece of the puzzle just wasn't popular. Murrow News 8 caught up with city official Brandon Chapman to learn more.
But it was one of those items that we had some ability to adapt for our local community, because the master plan consultant said it is not a one-size-fits-all approach. The overall goal is to drive people to downtown, right? If people feel comfortable downtown, if it's the right ambiance for them, they're going to want to come down, they're going to want to spend money. So now we know, moving forward, would we use back-end angle parking? Probably not. That would be my hunch. But at least if we decide not to, it's because we did try it and we did receive really good feedback from that.
Chapman says the next decision will be final, potentially moving all downtown parking over to Olson Street. Reporting live downtown Pullman, Kylie Gibson, Murrow News 8.
There are 49 new cases of COVID-19 in Whitman County since Saturday. According to Pullman Radio News, Whitman County Public Health has released the first details of where the cases have been located. WSU Greek Row accounted for 107 of all cases, and the WSU dorms counted for 22. All other cases were off campus.
Deadly wildfires in California have burned more than 4 million acres this year. That's more than double the state's previous record. The most land burned in the state of California. Officials said they hit that milestone today with about 2 months left in the fire season. The previous record was set 2 years ago when wildfires destroyed 1.67 million acres.
COVID-19 has affected people, businesses, and especially communities. Communities depend on one another to support each other through hard times. The Pullman Moscow La Quinta Inn and Suites is trying to support COVID-19 first responders. Front desk manager Melissa goes into detail.
COVID-19 has affected people, businesses, and especially communities. Communities depend on one another to support through hard times. The Pullman Moscow La Quinta Inn and Suites is trying to support COVID-19 responders. Front desk manager Melissa goes into detail.
For first responders, we're offering a 15% off discount, our best available rate. And at this time, we haven't been presented with having any COVID patients, so we haven't come across that yet.
Melissa also goes into detail about what prompted this support for COVID-19 responders and for those who contract the virus.
There is a need for support for nurses and doctors and firefighters, EMTs, if they don't want to go home to their families. And we recognize that. We've always worked closely with Gritman Hospital and all the surgery and doctors in the area. And so we just have extended that to them as well.
The La Quinta Hotel has also implemented measures to help combat COVID-19.
So for customers, we're not doing our buffet right now, just because we can't have everybody gather down here, and it's not sanitary at this time for them to walk through and get a buffet. We are requiring maximum of 10 people in our pool area, and everybody is asked to wear masks when they walk in. All of our areas and surfaces are sanitized multiple times a day with bleach, and everything comes out of the room and is sanitized before the next person checks in.
This is what the La Quinta is doing in its efforts to support the community. I'm Luke Walker, Murrow News 8.
Coming up next, another positive case on the president's staff list.
And how the weather's changing as we move into October. Alex Biviano has our weather report when we come back to Murrow News 8.
This is the story of a boy who didn't talk for a long time. The boy liked things to always be the same. Any changes would scare and upset him. The unknown was an unfriendly place. The boy was very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where they couldn't get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. He wasn't trying to be mean, it just made him feel uncomfortable. Sometimes he would flap his arms again and again.
One day, I found out I have something called autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I found my voice and learned all the ways I could live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
President Trump's press secretary, Kayleigh McEnany, tested positive for COVID-19 Monday. She joins a growing list of fellow Trump staffers, including the president himself, to test positive for the virus. Although McEnany claims to have tested negative repeatedly, she's frequently appeared maskless, even as other staffers have tested positive. What do we need to know as we move into the weekend here for the weather, Alex?
Thank you, Andrew. So far, the weather's looking very nice today. We're looking at highs in mid-70s, lows in the 50s. Very nice weather. You can wear a nice light jacket if you want to, or simple t-shirt weather works. Tomorrow should be much of the same. Only thing we do see a little bit is the sunrise is getting a little bit later, and the sunset is getting a little bit sooner. So there's definitely fall coming. However, it's still nice weather. We can still enjoy our outside activities such as golf, running, low wind as well. You get our state forecast. The west side of the state you see is much colder than the east side of the state. The central, you see more heat settling a little bit. You see Tri-Cities, you see Yakima, both in the 80s, with highs in the 50s, with lows in the 50s, excuse me. And on the east side here, look at Spokane and Pullman, looking at 70s again. Very nice, very temperatures. We've got our 5-day here, our 5-day forecast, looking at very good weather all week. It's going to get a little bit more hot each day, progressively hotter, and especially on the weekend, it'll get pretty much in the 80s or so. However, fall is coming, so we should see cool temperatures on the way. Back to you guys.
Washington State to open the revised schedule and when the Cougs play the Apple Cup.
Asher Lind will update us more on sports when Murrow News 8 returns.
Dad, they took over my bedroom. Come on, come on. Okay, Dad, 1, 2, 3. Dad! You saved me. Dad?
Are you okay?
I'm fine, dear.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
Welcome back to Murrow News 8. I'm Asher Line with your sports. In local sports, the Kibbe Dome saw Moscow's high school football team beat Lewiston for the first time since 2014, 28-20. Bears quarterback Chad Redinger threw for 289 yards and a couple touchdowns, while adding a rushing TD to the scorebook as well. Jared Granger from Lewiston had a big day as well, catching touchdown passes from 72 and 66 yards out. WSU men's basketball patiently awaits their season debut along with new faces added to the program, most notably Miles Fitzgerald Warren, a transfer from Fresno State. The 6'3" guard averaged 2.4 minutes in 7 games with the Bulldogs as a true freshman, then redshirted the 2018-2019 season. After the LA Lakers went up 2-0 over the Miami Heat in the NBA Finals, many people thought it would be a clean sweep, but Jimmy Butler had other plans, giving the Heat a career game and beating the Lakers 114-104. Butler finished with 40 points, 11 boards, and 13 assists, all while playing without 2 other starters, Goran Dragic and Bam Adebayo. Adebayo is questionable for Game 4, while Dragic is still doubtful. Game 4 tips off tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Pacific time. Some great news for Pac-12 athletes and fans. The Pac-12 football schedule was announced over the weekend. WSU is slated to play Oregon, Washington, and Cal at home, while traveling to Oregon State, USC, and Stanford. The Apple Cup is scheduled for Black Friday, and the home opener versus Oregon will be November 14th. And in the NFL, after an 0-4 start, the Houston Texans have fired head coach and GM Bill O'Brien. He's been widely criticized for decisions like trading away star wide receiver DeAndre Hopkins to the Cardinals and their next 2 first-round draft picks to the Dolphins. He was let go by owner Cal McNair, while Romeo Crennel was named the interim head coach. The Texans will try to get in the win column next Sunday at home against who else? Former Cougar Gardner Minshew and the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Murrow News 8 will be right back after this.
It's okay to be scared. You don't have to be so strong.
Strength is not optional. This is my mother, my purpose. Real muscle is lifting her spirits between bedpans and bad news from doctors that doubt her strength. Strength is buried in bills, managing meds, and swallowing those moments of, Mom, it's me, your daughter. Remember? My strength is super, but I'm still human, right?
Look who's here. There she is. Thanks for your patience.
How you feel?
If you're caring for a loved one, visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community, or call 1-877-333-5885.
For watching. If you missed anything in this or any of our other previous newscasts, you can always watch us on our YouTube channel.
More news can be found at nwpb.org/MN8, and you can always follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Pullman, have a good night.